Welcome to our fourth week of the program. Many times we think about dividing this into two halves, part 1 and part 2. "21 days seems long enough for many. But meditation is a lifelong process. And to reprogram or deprogram our subconscious, which has been programmed for now dozens of years, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen, 5 dozens of years. It requires at least that many days to decondition. Youngsters, less number of years of programming, so less number of days. Middle-aged, more number of years programming, so more days, and goes on. If thoughts and feelings create our reality, and feelings and emotions are the same, the different sides of a coin, then it goes without saying, those feelings and emotions have to be navigated towards the right ones. It goes without saying. If all our creation, manifestation is based on the state of being that we carry, and so that the state of being is defined by what we are emitting out at any given moment, the electromagnetic signature, electromagnetic energy, which is translated in experience. A state of being is that what vibrational signature that we're emitting, and so that we attract those events matching that signature into our life more, then we must clearly be with the right thing, so that we attract, in saying it, those events matching that signature into our life more, up to 5,000 times more powerful in the energy intensity. Then we must clearly be becomes even more important, the right thing, so that we attract, in saying it, then to create those events matching that signature into our life more, up to 5,000 times more powerful in the energy intensity. Then we must clearly be with more bright things, so that we attract, in saying it, then to create those events matching that signature into our life more, up to 5,000 times more powerful in the energy intensity. Then we must clearly be. But of course, doesn't mean that lower emotions will ever not exist. Whether it's anger, whether attachment, whether it's ego, they all are there for us to experience life more, for us to differentiate the contrast more, to appreciate things more. That's a way of learning. The point is, if we can regulate and not get attached to any of them, momentally experience and then move forward. Learn through them to stay ourselves in sustained higher emotions, then it's great. Emotional intelligence is all about changing our state of being and taking care of ourselves first. It's all about changing ourselves inside out first in our heart center, taking care of ourselves. The concept is you give what you have. You criticize yourself all the time, but you can't be praising somebody else. That will not last because your fundamental nature inside the heart, the thing that you're emitting is criticism. You can't be hating yourself and then you hate yourself all the time. You can't be loving. You may be sending love to somebody, but then this thing will show up. It's like a pressure cooker. Keeps building if there's no outlet, and it keeps suppressing, but then do something else to somebody. It's got to blow up at some point. So this whole notion of emotional intelligence is about taking care of ourselves, becoming the best with ourselves. And so then automatically we become that to somebody else around us. How much grateful I am to myself. How much do I love myself? How much I appreciate myself. How compassionate to myself, how empathetic to myself, that when something I do, I understand that I do have a limitation. When something wrong with my body, my system, I want to be compassionate to take care of myself. Not brush it aside and always live for somebody else. But there comes the ability to manage, the ability to multiply our experience with everyone else if we take care of ourselves first. So we explore emotional intelligence from this concept, from this understanding that it is us who are changing inside out in the way we deal with things, with our emotion. And so that our experiences as we deal with the environment, the people, places is multiplied because the way we deal with every situation changes. When we express anger, we no longer criticize ourselves. We no longer feel too guilty and go lock ourselves into closets. No longer keep having that inner chatter, how stupid I was in doing that. Instead, we accept. We develop the strength to accept. Awareness is fundamental in this whole thing, awareness. In order to have the right balance of emotion, regulation of emotion, or the right intelligence, awareness is fundamental. Awareness of how I am at this moment, how my body is feeling, how my mind, what emotion my body is experiencing, what feeling my mind has. Just having that awareness of my thoughts, my reactions, my feelings at the moment, my responses that I'm about to give. We know that meditation is building plenty of awareness, and so naturally the emotional intelligence, the balance is coming. We'll understand this a little more deeply. The connection between our body and emotion, the brain, and how meditation helps us to regulate this nicely, helps us to make us move from a person who is defined mostly with the lower emotions, which are contracting our energy, depleting our energy, and then separating us from others more and more, to a person who is exhibiting these higher emotions. So we become more one, and then we gain more energy and become more one with others. The whole manifestation is about becoming one with the whole, with everything. Only then we have more opportunities. Simple, right? If I fight with my CEO because I don't like something, I'm the one who loses plenty of opportunity. So is the case with she too on the other side. Expressing is important, not fighting. We need to make the distinction, and with awareness we build that. Expression is important, not fighting. Conclusions are temporary. We move on from the very next moment that the CEO is a changed person. So I go back with a fresh mind again. Talk about it, express it. Not conclude based on what they have said yesterday and day before yesterday, and so it's not going to happen. Emotions are fundamentally the lower emotions, what we call the Arishad Varga. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsalya. They all are there to help us learn more. They're not enemies. They're not enemies that we have to defeat them. They are our friends because only through them we learn. That's the other way of looking at it. Only through them we learn. A monk thinking that if I just be myself and do a lot of intense sadhana, he goes away from the family, from the environment. He's living outside the village. Village people are happy, they're doing their own things, living their life. Happy, sad, everything, they're fighting among themselves but living. This monk thinking that I need to do this intense sadhana so that withdraw himself, and then outside the village he's living, he's doing tapa, penance. He thought he's conquered his emotions because he's just there by himself happily. Yes, he's very happily there with himself. So the villagers, when they have a festival and an anniversary of some sort, they invite him as a guest. They revere him with a lot of respect. He is a person who has conquered everything, didn't have any material desire, is able to stay there all by himself. They call him. So he comes, he gives a speech, everyone sort of claps and nice goes. It's all great. So on the way back, there's a lot of stampede. There's people pushing, trying to reach out to him, this and that. So in the stampede, somebody steps onto his legs and then hurts him, and then immediately he loses his temper and then shouts at the person that he saw 2 or 3 of them next to him. You guys don't have mind. You just come and then step on my feet. Who are you doing this to? I've been able to live so much happily there without any of this attachment like you guys have, and then you just don't even care to be careful in the way you are dealing with me and around me. He shouts at them, yells at them because he's so angry. He's pained him back. Immediately the person who stepped on his feet, immediately they tell him sorry, they apologize to him without a second thought. They don't even know if they are the cause of it. Most likely they're not the cause of it because somebody else pushed them from behind. But they apologize to him. Did not carry the ego. So in a moment, he realizes what stupid thing he has done. I mean, all his whole life, he thought he actually conquered the emotions. That he did not. And he starts feeling sad, he starts crying. My life is a waste. I've been thinking that I really conquered, so I've been away from everything. But then just this simple incident, it triggered such an emotion in me. And here, those people who may not even be the reasons, so had zero ego, so they just apologized like that and then just moved on. Wasteful life starts crying. There's no balance there either. Then villagers come, the elders, and then take him and then keep him happy and take him back to his place. Then he realizes staying away from people, places, things did not help him at all. He realizes that only when this event happened, he knew that there is something fundamentally wrong inside him. He had this ego. He didn't have an emotional control at all. Only when he's with people around that he understood that there is a challenge with him. Then he said, living outside the village is not a solution. I must be with the people. I must be in the system. And then get better. Know all my weaknesses so that I can get better. That's why samsara, in samsara nirvana is there, which much better, much faster. It gives you all opportunities to learn about ourselves, to get better, change our state of being, to create and experience more. So we'll have to see all emotions are there. Only because these emotions are there that he is able to recognize some weaknesses for him. So the Arishad Vargas are there as friends for us to experience. So we don't keep people away, those who are helping us learn about ourselves through various situations in life. A normal tendency is to stay away from those people who may be irritants or maybe critical of ourselves. There's a normal tendency to avoid. It's like that monk who is avoiding, didn't know. So being in the system and experiencing ourselves through the various pressures and pleasures of it, we can absolutely learn faster. And meditation is giving us the strength to be in the system and then navigate it appropriately, recognizing and getting better and better, taking care of ourselves to the best of ability. So we'll explore this. Let's go into meditation, dear friends. And this whole emotional intelligence is deeply connected to the way of our brain learns, and then brain remembers, and then brain responds, neuroscience. We're going to learn some core aspects of it today after the session, after meditation, about the concept of learning and being and doing, learn, be, do. Learn, do, be. Learn, do, be. Everything is driven through this conscious, subconscious minds. One is a thought center, another is the feelings and emotion center. And so if we change the mindset, which is the crux of this program, we change the mindset, we're changing our outer experience. And a mindset comprised of our thoughts and feelings, and so we change that. So we'll understand this in another angle. Learning a little bit about neuroscience today. So before that, our meditation. We are practicing Ana-Pana-Sati, breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to be in an empty state of mind for as long as we can. Thousands of thoughts in our mind. So when you observe our natural normal breath with your eyes closed, remove the specs, fingers into fingers, hands in your lap comfortably, cross your feet at ankle, legs crossed, hands, fingers into fingers in your lap, eyes closed, remove the specs, observe your breath. Anywhere in the nose, anywhere in the nose, preferably here, but wherever you feel, you can feel the breath, you can take that anchor point and then observe that your natural air is going in and coming out. When you observe your breath, your mind becomes empty. When you observe your breath, the mind is becoming empty. And as the mind is empty, we start experiencing greater emptiness around. When the mind becomes empty, we lose the sense of our body, our people, the environment, our life, everything. We forget. The goal of this meditation is to empty your mind of all thoughts, means forget everything about ourselves. So as observe the breath, automatically thoughts slow down. That means we are forgetting everything about ourselves. And we do that, then we start experiencing emptiness. Now that emptiness is energy. That emptiness is energy. So we are experience that energy or this emptiness where nothing exists, shunya. Nothing exists. And then we want to be in that state for as long. Now when you are in it, thoughts come, naturally thoughts keep disturbing. When thoughts come, you recognize that you are, the moment you recognize your thought, take your attention back to the breath again. So we're training ourselves to be observing a breath. We become empty in the mind. Stay in that state for long. In case we have thoughts, recognize, again observe the breath, and then continue to practice it. Again, you go into the empty state. The goal is not to observe the breath for the whole duration. The goal is to observe the breath until the time where you lose yourself into an empty state. And if that empty state is recognized by no people, no things, nothing, it's all just totally empty around, it's black, it's dark. And when you're in that state, be in it. Don't have to observe the breath there. Instead, be in it and see what's going on, what's happening around. Be a witness. But if you know that you recognize it in thought, you know there's thought, then back to the breath again. All right, friends? And that's called Ana-Pana-Sati. We're practicing that for a long time. Prior to that, we are doing something called heart elevation, which is to elevate ourselves into a higher emotion by reliving an experience from our life, a good experience of life. Just follow my guidance. We're going to do this for a few minutes, and then we go into Ana-Pana-Sati, breath mindfulness meditation. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably, dear friends, with your eyes closed. Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, specs removed, with your hands on your chest area and your attention on your sacred heart, can you feel your heart center? Feel the beat and rhythm of your heart, the seat of all your emotions. With a slow, long, relaxing breath, feel your sacred heart. which is nurturing all life with these energies of love, joy, gratitude. And I want you to recollect and experience from your life of love, of joy, of gratitude, from your past or from your future mind movie, and relive that moment and elevate yourself. Relive that moment of love, joy, kindness, compassion, and feel that energy inside your beautiful heart. The more we experience love, the more we experience that connection to all things and everybody. We're all deeply interconnected with each other in this quantum energy field. Allow yourself to direct that energy to every corner of this planet Earth. But it is bound to be received by the needy. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation, Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation. With your fingers into fingers, resting your hands comfortably in your lap, with your eyes closed, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind as you merge into your breath. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. As our mind is empty, we develop greater awareness. We allow our body to function at its natural best. We experience this greater emptiness, that energy. Become one with your breath and one with this emptiness around. It is natural to have thoughts. When you recognize your thinking, go back to observing your breath, dear friends, and allow yourself to slowly become empty. All emptiness is energy. Allow yourself to stay connected to this emptiness, this blackness, this void, and allow yourself to sense that energy. Become aware of this emptiness where there's no body, where there's no thing. become aware of that emptiness, that infinite depth of that emptiness inside of you, all around you, spreading far and wide, stretching into the infinity. That's energy. That is the quantum energy field, your greater consciousness, which is always paying attention. The longer we stay present in this blackness, this energy, this light, the more whole we become, the more miraculous we become, the more open we become. We are less matter, more emptiness and energy. Allow yourself to experience more of that energy, more of that emptiness, less of you. Away from your body, away from your environment and life. Experience this emptiness of no body, nothing. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness. Your divine self, your greater intelligence, where everybody and everything are connected. Go deeper and deeper into yourself, dear friends. friends. Let's express gratitude. Gratitude is the highest state of receivership. Can you express gratitude to your parents for giving us this beautiful connection into this universe? Be grateful to your teachers and mentors for expanding our wisdom, and relax your body. Feel your body and let your autonomous nervous system repair your body as you relax. Recollect your experiences from the session, and whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes.
I surrender. I let go. I allow. I release. I surrender. I know. I allow. I receive. I surrender. I let go. I allow. I release. I surrender. I know. I allow. I receive. I surrender. I let go. I allow. I release. I surrender. I know.
Okay. It helps to understand some science behind how emotions are stored and how our experiences are originating from what we store in the brain. As we're learning emotional intelligence this week, and meditation is a foundational tool. It is one thing that meditation is giving is emotional wellness and then mental wellness. The truth, these are the things that come readily. Then comes everything else with it. So let me share a few slides. Those of you joined fresh, we are doing some wisdom talks, specifically on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. We're talking about, in the context of emotional intelligence, how our brain is learning. Learning to doing to being. For any skill, for anything, this is how we are learning. This is this phases, learning to doing to being. Now, when we understand emotions, our experiences in this context, by the time we finish, it becomes very clear that what I can keep away and then what I should perhaps experience more. So this picture, some of you attended regularly, is clear to you, which is depicting the three areas of the brain. The first layer that we are talking is called a human brain, because humans only possess this part, which is that large part of our brain, which is responsible for logic, abstraction, learning, conscious decision making, cognitive capabilities, which is called the conscious mind. This is where all the learning is happening through our senses. Our sensory perceptions, which are responding and constantly receiving signals, and then we're learning through it. Then with meditation, we learn from an inner senses. It's a different thing. The second brain is the limbic brain, the smaller yellow color, which is where is also called the subconscious, which is where the feelings are stored. The emotional center is stored there. Longer term memories as well as emotional center called amygdala, that is there. The fears, everything is there in that. Lower emotions, higher emotions are stored in this subconscious, which is attached to an experience often. The third one is the reptile brain, which is more connected to the vertebra, is more autonomous. Survival, reproduction, things that happen automatically, these body cell reactions. Whatever that is emotionally experienced needs to go into the body. Signal the body for the heart to beat faster, for the shoulders to freeze, for the jaws to tighten, based on the emotion that we're experiencing. Butterflies in the stomach. So all of that is driven through this third brain, this reptile brain, but it is receiving a signal in the subconscious when the emotion is experienced by recollecting memories from the past. So that emotion is experienced by the second brain, subconscious, then automatically it sends signals to the body to feel and body to respond in a certain way, so that you reinforce that, yes, this is really happening to me. So learning, first one is considered learning brain. Second one, the more you repeat something, then you're doing it. Once you learn, then you start doing things. Once you learn how to cook, then you're getting ideas that, okay, I can cook, a possibility exists. You go and then start cooking at some point. So all learning is through these. All experience are those three stages. First stage is learning, then we do, then we be. Any skill, easy to understand. If you're taking driving, so we have to read the manual, understand what is allowed left turn, what is not allowed left turn. We understand what is red mean, amber mean, green mean at a traffic signal. Then, of course, we also understand the gear and lever and all of those. So we know when to apply what. We understand them, learning. Without that, we couldn't be doing it. So then we start practicing, because it generates enough interest. If there's enough interest, then we intend ourselves that I must learn this. I must acquire this skill. If once you learn, if there's adequate interest, then we set an intent. So we say I must acquire this skill. And so that's how then we're directing ourselves towards creating situations for us. Somebody tells, hey, there is a driving school. It teaches really well. So you go and then learn from it. Oh, okay, I just thought about it. So let me go and learn. It's probably time for me to learn. So then we practice. So the practicing is where we slowly gain the knowledge that we learned to apply it in practice. Pretty common sense, right? So we repeat it. How do I take a right turn or signal there? I need to stop, red, amber. So if I'm fast enough, I can still go through it. If it is, I'm slow enough, then I must stop. And so applying the knowledge and the practicing enough times. The more times you practice it now, you start gaining an experience. You're recording these experiences with an experience means there is a feeling to it. There is always a feeling associated with it. Your first reaction when you suddenly had to brake, and then there's big relief that now you could just barely, you maintain the distance and then stopped, you braked. So first time that is stored. You do this a second time, then it's stored as a deeper experience. So when you do it enough time, then it becomes so automatic. Next time when you have when you start sensing before itself, then automatically you, without even thinking about it, you just brake. So that becomes being part of it. So initially you learn, then you start practicing, you're doing it enough times that you become automatically, you know how to brake. You don't think about it. Apply more, apply less. They come automatic. Involuntarily happen. Do I put less pressure, more pressure? Steering the wheel. All of that is happening as an automatic, it's like an autopilot mode. So we practice enough that things happen. That's why when we start from our home, we reach our office many times not knowing that we actually maneuvered some turns, we went through traffic, or we took which route. Many times we don't even remember. Because the brain learned enough, it did it enough times that it is practiced that now it can navigate itself. Autopilot. Without which our body's complex system could not be managed. If you have to think about allowing blood supply to go into this heart through heart this time and not the other time, if there is such thing, they couldn't be managing it. It's always working coherently. So keeping that in the context, if you understand how the brain is learning, the brain has this infinite capacity, literally infinite capacity, basically a lot of capacity. Yes, there is some limit, but the limit is so huge that it is, you can say, is infinite. So it has these 100 billion cells called neurons, and every neuron is connected with another neuron to form memory. So in this small little picture here, the neuron connects to another neuron. That connection is an electric pulse, meaning they are maintaining a gap between them. But the neurons have to connect to another neuron to form a memory or learning or information that we learn. When I'm learning right now, when you and I are learning about this, talking about this, then there is a lot of neural connections taking place to store that. So the cells come together, and with an impulse, electric impulse, then they come together and store that information. If I learn a second time, then I'm forming more connections to learn that piece of information. It's basically how you develop skill. If I learn about driving through a third person, how somebody is narrating experience of what to do at the time of a lot of traffic, how to brake, not brake, how to change lanes. So every time you read from a manual, you experience it once, you listen to somebody's experience about it, then each time that is being repeated, so you're learning more about that skill of braking, a skill of turning, right? A skill of driving in this case. And so then each time we learn about it, they are slowly forming something called the driving brain. So in some area, and then many areas of the driving brain, where information is stored in one place, 3D visualization is stored in another place. The sounds you remembered when you braked last time, the squeezing sound or whatever creaking sound, that is stored in another place. But they all are being formed and stored. First time it's stored, second time when you experience it stored, third time more are stored by forming more connections. So every time we repeat, we learn, then we form more connections. So cells that fire together, wire together. So that means every time we learn or repeat something, we're adding new connections and then making that thing stronger. So I'm talking about genetic learning. And we'll apply that to the feelings and emotion. So the more we repeat and the more we experience something, then the more stronger we're making the connections, the more stronger we're forming that as a thinking brain, a cooking brain, a driving brain, that skill, whatever that is. And that skill comes with a lot of feeling associated with it. How I felt last time when I was driving in the traffic. How I felt last time when somebody's cutting onto me. And it's cut close while I'm driving. Apply this to our situations at work. You're going through a project. We keep doing the concepts of planning to design to execution and reviews. Keep doing it. And so each time we do it, we get better. So first we learn how to plan, then we start doing it. Then people come, give all kinds of comments, reviews, but they'll come and share their experience of how to avoid things. So we're storing it more. And how some reviews were nasty, so we restore that also as an experience. So it becomes stronger connection. Now the thing here is, in this learning, fundamental to understand is, every new connection is learning, but a stronger long-term connection is memory. Stronger long-term connection. That means if we repeat enough times, if we do it enough times, then I know exactly. If I do enough times planning for a large project, then I know next time it becomes easy because I already done it. I know that first I have to make sure who are the external dependencies for a large project. I need to first write those down. Rather than trying to conquer myself, first try to see how do I not get impacted with the people that I depend on, and then work with them right from the beginning. So there are some tips you learn. So the memory is strong long-term connections. If you've done enough times, it becomes memory. Long-term connection is happening because we repeat it enough times. Now, the key, the way brain is learning, is that if it learns through visual, if it learns through feeling, it is storing many connections, and so that it can store it very strongly, which is again common sense for us. A picture is worth 1,000 words, you know that. It is coming because a picture is visual. So when I'm learning something in a pictorial form, I remember it a lot well. If I say apple is a fruit versus apple in the form of a picture, then I remember it a lot more well, isn't it? So picture in the shape of an apple, and then say this is apple, and then now to store that apple as a picture, it takes a lot of connections. A lot of connections are stored. One, if just as an apple is a word, and then apple is in red color. If that is our sentence I'm learning, apple is in red color, then there's no picture. So I left to my imagination, but I'm storing apple is in red color. It requires, let's say, 1,000 connections. Now my teacher shows apple is red color, but also shows the shape of it, a picture of it, and then shows that. Then suddenly, to store the same information, now I take 1,000,000 connections. Brain uses its capacity to form 1,000,000 connections to remember the whole picture, the curves, a little, the stem, all of that is there. And the nice figure of this apple, the red color, here and there, the shiny, not shiny. All of that is stored. So 1,000,000 connections are used now to store the same piece of information. Now, if somebody shows me a video of apple, And they narrate their experience in that video. When you bite it, oh, it's such a nice taste of, sweet as well as a little bit of sour. This and that is explained. And then as you see it, it mouth waters. So there's a nice fruit. Now, all of that is a feeling, a video where they're showing not only a picture, but the feeling is associated. They show a feeling of somebody narrating. And their experience of the bite an apple and say, wow, this is tasty. They put a facial expression. Then you see that feeling in the person in the video. Then now you're storing suddenly not 1 million, maybe 1 billion connections are stored. Just to learn that apple is in red color and it tastes great. If that is a sentence you're learning, right? So one is a text, another is a visual, another is a feeling. The feeling now takes 1 billion connections. And that means it is that much more stronger in remembering. So needless to tell, the student who learns apple is red color tastes great, who has gone through the video will remember it for a long time because now it has so much connections in the brain. It remember a long time. The moment it becomes stronger as a learning, then it also keeps projecting in our life more often. Because when whatever we remember deeply is what keeps coming up suddenly for us. That is the first memory that we pull out. Anything we remember deeply is what we pulled out first. When an external trigger comes. The moment someone says, hey, we're driving by apple orchards are here, then immediately that memory of that feeling that we learned, oh, apples, red color, apples, great, taste great, and they look beautiful. All of that suddenly start coming because we saw that video, which is deep in memory. But a student will learn apples are red color may not even remember. Oh, okay, just another fruit. They don't even associate. It is red and then it is called apple and then it can be tasting great. All that don't even remember because it has so few connections, memory is not that strong. The reason is cells degenerate. They degenerate just like in every second, we're having 1 million cells produced and the million cells dying. So when they die, then you need new cells. When they die, and then if I store in a few connections, and then if that part of the brain happens to be dying, then I might lose a whole memory. Whereas if I store something as a picture or as a feeling, even a portion of the cell in that whole feeling, 1 billion connections, some of them die, I still can construct. With a picture, I can construct an apple shape. And so I know that the overall it's red color. Even if portions have become grayish, if the cells have gone, but overall it's red, I can say, yeah, it is red. I remember that I read it that time. It's red. So we construct back and memory is back. So the point difference is that when we learn through feeling, when we are experiencing, then we remember more. When experiencing, we remember more. Visually, we remember to a good extent. Non-visually, anything mechanically learned as text is less. So no doubt, no wonder why our learnings is moving towards more visual already. Now, what is the connection to meditation and emotions here? Now, I want you to understand, supposing that we are going through this performance cycle, performance reviews, the cycle is coming. Who doesn't want good hikes? Everybody wants great hikes. So in the performance cycle is always fraught with so much of anxiety. We worked for the whole year. We want a great hike and a good percentage. We want the special recognition, the excellent or good or very good. And then we remember that how biased the manager was, how biased the system was last time, how mean the system was last time, because every time there seemed to be a struggle about this performance appraisals. Because managers are also human, or the system, how tough the conversation I had with HR, that they gave me feedback that now how I did not do good here, there. So the moment the performance cycle is coming, then we are all talking about it, and then how the old memories come back because we experience deeply about it. Earlier in the last year, the previous year, we experienced deeply about it. We start talking about the old memories of things are not good, how things have been biased by this manager for me. I really worked, but then it's just not giving. I really worked hard. It's just not ready to give me. It's always finding fault with me. No, we feel that way all the time. So we talk about this cycle because typically the cycle goes on in large companies for a long time, maybe 3 months. It will go on from one to the other. And we keep talking about these. And then we talk about it, we keep forming, we relive a past experience. See, you want good high, but you can't start reliving past experiences of how bad it was. And then you relive it with your emotion. You relive with your emotion so that you are not knowing, you are strengthening it. When you strengthen it more and more, our thoughts and feelings create our reality. So not knowing that you will actually going to cause the same to you, you relive it. You talk about the manager is very, very biased. Oh, he's going to do it this time. I'm sure he will think he will do like this only. This is how we relive that experience based on what we had experienced in the past. So not knowing that we are strengthening that memory, we are sending a stronger signal by the day. As the day comes to potentially experience something similar, number one. Now, this performance cycle is going, but parallelly, let's say you are learning about this manifestation process. The manifestation book is something which is nicely talked about. Your visualization, your dreaming creates reality for you. And you know what? Whatever that you dream, and then in today's right now, what you get accepted, because you don't understand what you're getting is only a step in the direction. So don't crib about it. Accept what you get because your creation. The manifestation book must always is telling that what you receive right now is your creation of the past. Take it, accept it in a nice way so that you set up yourself for future experience, create more. It is also telling you to accept, not resist, because that's fundamental to the manifestation. So that suppose you're reading this book, you felt good, okay, it makes sense because my thoughts create reality. So if I'm receiving something, it must be me who created it. So let me take that. It may be 5% only I got high, I'll take it, accept it. That's what manifestation is telling you, apply it. It feels good. You tell and say, okay, I must practice manifestation. You're doing little things. You are happy. You're gaining some good experiences. You tell your friends, they're also practicing it. They also come back and share their experiences. So you guys are discussing. And so you're actually learning the skill of manifestation through events, through experiences by yourself. On one side, you're cribbing about performance appraisal because right now that's hot, narrating experiences. But on the other side, you're also learning and this manifestations. You're learning and increasing your memory about manifestation. Part of that is core part of manifestation is acceptance of what we have today. So learning about it, accept situations. So when you are going into the real performance appraisal in that meeting with your manager, and it starts off, Ram, it's great. You've done this. I see it. You mentioned that you've done this project. But tell you what, you have, we tried a lot for you, but then this is the things that areas you can really improve. And then blah, blah, all of this basis, we think that, you are in good rating and here is a 6% for you. My old self is boiling with blood again because this is being repeated like last time. I was really thinking I worked hard. I should be getting excellent or good. But then based on branding of certain events, you're telling me now I'm only worth 6% again. And so we lose out. We say you're always biased. You're always biased. I knew it. I knew that you're going to do this to me. As if we really knew about it with a feeling. We say, if you knew so strongly, then definitely we're going to get it, right? Because we knew so strongly. With a feeling, we're living that feeling. And so we're going to say that again to him. That is an option to say. Every time we talk about performance appraisal, we are just coming out with this discussion, that animated conversation. Now you lose out and then say it. But then at the same time, you also have the opportunity of responding differently this time because you learned about manifestation and acceptance. Instead of being the old self, suddenly you get a spark, signals in your brain, okay, wait, this manager now, Lakshmi is telling me that I have screwed up again or whatever, but I'm only good for good. And so I'm getting this. Wait a minute, let me step back. My manifestation told me I'm the one who created it. It's telling me accept what it is right now, so it sets me up for something greater. Now this thing kicks in. Suddenly this spark comes, a new knowledge that is there. This spark comes. When the spark comes, one small light is all required. That awareness is there, small light is required. And so that immediately pulls an experience from another friend who suddenly said, you know what, this time I didn't resist my performance appraisal, I applied the manifestation principle. I was happy as I simply accepted, but just told my manager, I wish really, 8% is greater for me. I was just waiting for it. But it's fine if that's what you feel. I'll work for it. To change the tone. Earlier you're biased, this is all you give me. It's fine, whatever you gave me, I'll take it. But now I changed my tone and I accepted it truly and then told it differently and then went out. Then what happened? He came back after 3 weeks and worked for it and then increased it by another 2 points. That's an experience your friend shared as part of a manifestation acceptance. So suddenly you recollect that experience now. A spark comes and say, hey, remember, it is yours, so accept it. The spark now translates to another experience of the past or the manifestation a friend shared. And then you have experienced every time you accepted how things turn better. So suddenly all these bulbs go up in your brain to know, and then the response becomes stronger about, I must accept here, not crib, not complain, not shout at this person, not lose out myself. Instead, we start framing a different response of acceptance, of telling pleasingly, fine, I'll take it. I recognize that, okay, there are areas that I can improve. A response which was an old response, hostile response, now changes to a more friendly response to a manager. And that switch, dear friends, is a spark from a meditation awareness. That awareness, which is building us constantly about an emotion in our response or reaction or thought, is that spark is enough. That awareness is causing us to momentarily stop before we respond. And then that moment is sufficient for our brain to act and pull all the information, opportunity, the things that are available at our hand. It could be a friendly acceptance response. It could be a hostile response. It could be something else, but it gives us all options to respond appropriately. And we pick one. So that spark is meditation, which is building that awareness to us. So we get better. So this time we did it once. We feel good. We walk out of the room. We did not lose. We did not have an argument this time. We feel good. We successfully averted one more negative argument, because that argument would have planted my past knowledge about how my manager in the system is very biased about performance appraisals. Now I did not fire that circuit. Cells that fire together wire together. So I did not fire the circuit, so that is not utilized. That brain is not utilized. But here I fired a acceptance circuit and manifestation thought create reality circuit. So I accepted it as my experience. And so it became stronger, and that is not fired. Now things that don't get fired for a few days, the stat shows that anywhere about 3 weeks and longer, if you don't reuse a circuit for some time, then slowly that becomes weaker. So we go away from that emotion, and then we start building this emotion. And so we start developing acceptance more and more. We start accepting to ourselves more and more. So dear friends, when we have that capability we built in over a period of time, slowly, one time is not enough. We do it a second time, in another situation, a third time, another situation, then we become of it. We are fully allowing situations to happen to us. No resistance. We accept things, recognizing them as our creation. We express, recognizing that that's a way to gain. We express, recognize there's a way to gain for future, but we accept first. And then when we have this capability of gain, then we start allowing others to develop it. We start allowing others to have it. So it's important, dear friends, when we look at it, how the brain is learning. Every feeling with which we relive an event is causing us to make it stronger in our body's emotion, and so causing us to respond that way. So we need to be aware to choose what experience that I'm reliving, what I'm narrating. That's why the Vak Kshetra we talked about earlier, impeccability in words becomes because we just casually narrate events without realizing that we're reliving that event and then strengthening our connection, hurting ourselves. So casually reliving an event which has no relevance, no use whatsoever, and only reinforces a different emotion must be avoided. Vakshatra needs to be perfect. Is it positive? Is it truthful? Is it useful in narrating and reliving? We choose what to listen in to the TVs, what programs to listen in. Programs that scare us, programs that just make us relive our old experiences back and then make us stronger for it. Or programs that help us expand. A great talk by Joe Dispenza inspires every time. Versus, some serial which is just making us relive our emotional baggage that we lived at home or office. We just choose be wise, and then awareness is essential for it. And meditation is building plenty of that awareness, dear friends. So it's a foundational tool to gain emotional regulation, to move ourselves into the greatness in a greater, higher self. Always wonderful. So we're going to explore this concept with this concept of what we choose to experience. We explore this concept further about what is this emotional intelligence, some components of it as we go along in this week. Thank you very much. We'll meet you all back again tomorrow with more meditations. And Tuesdays being sharing, we'll have people come in, professionals come and share how meditation helped them build great relationships. In that example, our relationship in suddenly a change. The moment we accepted, our relationship with the boss has changed. Even the same manager who, remembering last time how nasty it was, now must be highly relieved and then has this tremendous empathetic response towards you. And it goes about working for you when we change the response, and that is important. Yes, Namta Madam.
Yes, sir. Namaste, very good morning and evening, dear friends and masters. Self-assessment survey 2 has been sent to all the participants. Kindly do fill the surveys and submit as early as possible. This gives you a fairly good idea to know about yourself, your progress along the path. And we have weekly book clubs. Today we have Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton in the morning starting from 8:15 a.m. and in the evening session from 7:30 p.m. Kindly do attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you all. Yes, Hari.
Sir, thank you so much for the great session today. And during manifesting, I was trying to understand one thing where when we are trying to do meditation every day, should we need to be thinking on the thing, whatever we are trying to manifest, as if that we have achieved, or should we need to do that once in a day, week, something like that? Or
what do you think?
Usually what I started doing is to keep thinking on that same thing every day. And since the meditation is to get to emptiness, I keep thinking on that and then slowly get to the empty state while meditating.
Yes. Where you place your attention is where there you place your energy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you want to place adequate energy to manifest. Right? So we have to do things and let things happen. So we have to place our attention adequate times, and then also give a chance for everyone around who has to contribute towards it and them work for it. Right? So it's like that. So how often? Yes, definitely I would do every day. Once, maybe twice. Visualize and spend that attention on it, those 7-10 minutes of visualization, dreaming, 15 minutes of dreaming. But they do it definitely. Every day. I would do every day, and I'm always doing every day.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, sir. And during meditation, we get to that empty state. During that time, we even remove that thought, whatever we are manifesting, and try to be without any thought. Right, sir?
Yes, because see, the empty state is different from actually visualizing something. Empty state is where we are allowing to receive things. Empty state is where we are reprogramming our subconscious with old limiting beliefs. They all are slowly melting away, they're going away. We are getting programmed through consciousness, sending signal through a pineal gland. We're getting programmed with higher information insight. So that is the empty state is where you are deeply listening to your greater intelligence consciousness.
Okay.
I always like this example. If whichever field you are really want to learn more from, you go to an expert. What do? You are empty, you're attentive, or you're full there?
Empty and
you're attentive or empty, right? You're completely open. You want to just say, yes, sir. So tell me what can I do and what should I do? We're completely attentive. We signal. This is being not analytical. So we are there in front and say, I'm there with you. I'm completely surrender. I'm there with you. You tell me. Now the others say, oh, okay. Hari is really ready to receive. That's why he's like this. Yes, so let me put everything into Hari. They get encouraged. You want to sit down and say, okay, so you came, so tell me. And then we have, okay, so there is some resistance here, so maybe there is something going on for them. Let me not bother them too much. Give them a little bit and then go away. It depends on how attentive or receptive we are. And an empty state is being with that super mentor. That super mentor's consciousness is that energy is in that empty state. If we have with matter, then we're not in empty state, we're not with consciousness, we are in the state of body, with ourselves, right? We are both. We know that. We are both. We are the observed and the observer. We are to be with the observer. So empty state is being with the observer. Think of that. So you are with your greater mentor, with yourself at that point, in an empty state. Right? The analytical mind that keeps coming is you. Again, drop that. So they are fully receptive. That's why I'm saying stay away from the analytical mind, reasoning mind, set it aside completely, and then become that observer, the mentor. And then mentor is so happy to just give you everything, and then we start absorbing. So we need to have that empty state. And then how long? However long we can be. Because it's like this. If I have a greatest person with whom I spend my time and I become that, then in a great level, my life is taken care, right? So they are giving me guidance and I just do it, and then I don't have to really put my head around. This is another way of thinking about it. But then we are here for experiencing life. So we spend as much time, we come out and then play the game actively. We take advice from the thing and then come out and play the game actively. That's our visualization. And playing the game rightly is to have this. We should start with visualization and then stay with state of no ego and then accept what's coming. Surrender, state of no ego, surrender, and then accept what's coming. If this is a game we play in the right way, so we experience more and more. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, we have Mr. Paresh.
Namaste. Chandra sir, first of all, thank you very much for everything that you have been giving ever since I joined this class with the reference of Narendra ji. I have been consistently having one dilemma which I want to clear. So here is my question. I've been introduced to Vipassana very early in my life, in 1987. And since then, I have been attending these courses several times and pursuing Vipassana on and off intermittently. I have not been consistent, and that's my problem with everything I do. I visualize a lot, I dream a lot, and I pursue my dreams. But at the same time, there is a lack of consistency. So here, what is happening is with all that memory and practice that I have had, I am not able to really give up those thoughts which emerge when I'm pursuing your guidance in this meditation. So this conflict is not really helping me to immerse fully or accept fully. So can you help me to have a corrective course? Thank you.
This is, that's why we are training ourselves in a new way, but it'll be that way, Mr. Paresh. Initially, for a few weeks to months, it'll be that way. But in every meditation, now in Vipassana, what were you doing? You're observing the body sensations and they would stay there, or what were you doing in Vipassana, the technique you learned?
So the first part is same as what we do here, the Ana-Pana-Sati. And with that manifest the sensations, and we are trained to observe it equanimously without getting attached to the kind of sensation it is. So whether it is gross or subtle, happy or sad, pain or pleasure, the mind becomes indifferent. And I think I developed that faculty a lot. Then there is Mangal Maitri, which is same as the gratefulness and spreading the merits that we have developed so far. So these are three stages which we practice, and there is absolutely no word or no sound when we do this. There is a noble silence. So there is a great degree of difference in the method that we follow. So I don't analyze when I do meditation here as well. But after the meditation session is over, quite obviously the analytical mind triggers and it starts. So that's exactly where my real faith or reinforcement that I need to continue and pursue this becomes a challenge. So I'm not critical about this method. At the same time, with all openness, I'm pursuing consistently, as you would notice since start of this program. But certainly I'm finding a challenge. And I want to clear this earlier. In fact, I tried to do so even day before when Patriji was there. I tried to communicate in the text message, but I believe that time was short. So if you can help me, it will be of a great, immense time saving for me. Thank you very much.
So the analysis will be, when we increase our understanding, then we are slowly moving towards it. That's all. So the technique you're practicing is same, right? Ana-Pana-Sati, you're doing the same. Now, if you go one step further, from Gautama Buddha's teaching, we see Kaya Anupasana, Chitta Anupasana, Bhava Anupasana, and then Vipassana. The four things are there. Anupasana is little bit observation, small. Ana-Pana-Sati, so be with your in-breath, out-breath, and then a bunch of things are happening, and then be a little bit Kaya Anupasana with the body, Anupasana, body sensations, Chitta Anupasana, mind sensations, a little bit, Bhava Anupasana, feeling a little bit, but Vipassana, there is no Anupasana, no Vipa-Anupasana, Vipassana, true seeing, which is saying these three do observe a little bit, but that go beyond to see everything that is there. And that is there is happening where you go beyond Bhava, Chitta, body, Kaya, they're all are physical matter. You go beyond it, you empty yourself. That's the teaching. Empty to go beyond your body mind, which is a matter. Go beyond it. And so then you start seeing the Vipassana, which is the true seeing. See a past, a future, and everything that is out there, everything that greater. Now, this is the understanding. And so you're practicing. Obviously, the techniques that we practice and the skills that we practice will come in the way, right? If tomorrow, if someone brings a car with, a different model of driving, a driving backward a few times and forward for 10 times, we always struggle to learn, right? If a car comes with a middle or rear seat where the driver is sitting, no longer the front seat, but the driver is a rear seat, and then I have to drive, we'll struggle to learn, but they're going to take time. It's just like that. There's nothing wrong in, based on the current state of mind, of course, we analyze, but the more we practice, but unfortunately, I can't give you more answer than to say it. And we understand the science that we are energy at the core, emptiness at the core, and then we only matter a little bit. So we forget about ourselves by to drop our matter, so they become that energy, which is this quantum energy for the consciousness. So we're becoming that. Now we keep applying our effort towards it, and we get better every day, just like any skill. So it's only a few weeks, and sometimes, like I said in the beginning, dozens of years we've been done conditioned, and so it takes at least that many days to decondition. So just have to continue practicing.
Sure.
There's no other thing than to just practice it. That's all. It'll definitely get better. You will realize suddenly, maybe on the day 100, or suddenly you say, "Oh, so it seems like a lot has happened here. Now I'm fully in control of my thought or analysis of things that you're trying to go away." But in the wakeful time, they will be there. When you're actively participating in something, you got a full mind actively working. By the moment you're done, you're packing and keeping the mind aside. But that's where we want to go, right? We want to master the mind.
Yeah.
Mind mastering us was to master the mind, and all the meditation practice are to master the mind. And we'll definitely gain a lot better control of it as we go along. Long-term meditator, by default, is keeping to very low number of thoughts, from thousands of 50 to 60,000 thoughts. They go down to less than fewer thousand, like 5,000, 3,000, 2,000. They stay in this very, very less number of thought. And those are the original creative thoughts they stay with, and everything else they are able to stay with. But long term, keep practicing.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you all. So we'll see you all tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thank you. Well,